All right, boys and girls. Today I wanna showcase you this. So it's kind of like I did that before. The 5 years ago, someone predicted something joined, and today it's Aris. So what spawned this, or like me getting reminded that this exists, that this video already was there, is obviously the RIP Spag situation, where they apparently both lost their preferred commentators by Namco spot on the Tekken World Tour. It's basically a list, and they're not on it. And if you're not on that list, it basically means the chances that you are commentating Tekken World Tour are pretty much zero. So it's a bit of a shitty situation because the optics of it is so bad. I mean, obviously, no one knows if what they said and their opinions about the game. And Rip's appearance at James Chen podcast, where basically for 90 minutes, I think roughly, I watched it all. Obviously, bro, James Chen is a legend, Rip is a legend. But Rip formulated the pretty, I would say well-measured critique towards Tekken 8. He wasn't disrespectful, he wasn't shitting on the game. He was pretty, constructive, laying out his points. But obviously now everyone is speculating that it has, obviously it is that, right? Like, even in the slim chance that it isn't, the optics of that shit is so goddamn bad that I don't know who thought even this is a good idea. But, well, I want you to show this video. I think a lot of you are still around. Like, I saw a few comments from people. I think that I saw comments from under this video as well when I clicked on it and quickly just checked the, you always see some comments. So I think some of you remember this video, but I'm just gonna let Aris talk. I mean, I'm usually not a React guy, but I will formulate some thoughts. I watched it back then, but didn't rewatch it. So it's gonna be basically like a live React, and if I have anything to say about something, I will interrupt. I never done this before, so it might be a bit weird, or I don't know, the meme of I pause every 5 seconds. I try not to do that. But all right, let's get into it, and let's listen to Lord Aris for a bit.
I wonder what kind of trouble I'm gonna get into, if any. I feel like I try not to even talk about shit.
So again, for those of you who don't know, sorry, I already paused. It's in season 4, there was pretty much an early build or beta program, so to speak, and they handed out keys to certain people, and to certain people they didn't hand out keys. And that spawned a discussion about, Namco and content creators and stuff. It's a bit funny because back then people basically wanted Namco to work together with content creators, because obviously Namco should, feature them more,
All I try to talk about is stupid shit that you can't really get in trouble for. This is the kind of stuff that you could probably get in trouble for. I don't know, I might get in trouble. Yeah, I saw that this morning. Oh my god. That is crazy. I woke up, the first thing I saw in the morning, literally out of bed, first thing I saw was people Rip and people Spaghetti Rip and...
Wait, what does it say? Sorry. I would have preferred everyone got the game at the same time so we could all discover and share the discoveries at the same time. Patch notes a few days after, etc. Maybe next time. So November 8th, right, 2020.
Rip and people Spaghetti Rip.
Don't agree with certain people getting the Season 4 patch early. I'm not mad for not getting it myself. Well, I would be, you probably were a bit mad, but the period of discovery, which is super fun for the community, has been jeopardized.
Yeah. And other people are mad. Why are these people mad? Why are they sad? What's going on? And I look more into it, and it turns out that some people were given access to Tekken 7 Season 4, and other people weren't. And there was a lot of people unhappy about that, right? And it reminded me of how many times that's happened to me. That's happened to me so many times where I got burned by Namco or another company where, I'm doing this out of my goodness of my heart, dude. Really, I am. If you think about it. And it's this, the concept is so deep that you don't understand. You can't understand. You don't know the whole story. But,
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, let's just use one person, for example. For example, Rip, right? Rip, he has made a lot of sacrifice for Tekken, right? And there's no way
I think it's gonna be mentioned in that video as well. Like Rip is like IT guy, like he's like educated and shit. And yeah, I mean back in the day, you know, these guys to make the scene work, right? To like push, to like make tournaments happen, make good commentary happen. I mean, this is like the almost like the irrelevant age of Tekken, right? Like in Tech 2, I checked the tournaments. I even asked Rip about it in chat. I was like, bro, I checked the fucking prize money on it and checked like where people like lived. Bro, back then, people to make the scene happen, to make tournaments happen, to make something happen for this game, just out of pure love for the game, they traveled fucking like 600-700 miles. But you know, for what? If they got like first place or second place, it was like $200. It's like literally not even gas money. They traveled all these miles for not even gas money. And he was also like, he was answering me, and he was like also like, yeah, now that you speak it out loud, yeah, it was like literally not even gas money, bro.
That, I mean, I don't know this, but there's no way, I know in my heart, but I don't know as a fact, there's no way he feels like he is appreciated the way he should be.
Right now,
and
he sure as fuck is not.
All content creators for Tekken probably feel that way too. So, if you have that, like, giving so much, sacrificing, think about how Corona pretty much ended his job as a commentator. I mean, think about it. Coronavirus ended tournaments, ended everything for someone, for example, like Rip, right? And if you think about the idea that, okay, so then it's down to things like Season 4 is going to come out, and we're going to all explore this new update together. Releasing it to some people before other people is like morale, like it's like a backstab, you know, because these people just like Rip, optics, like Spaghetti Rip, and even people like the main man, they really sacrifice a lot. And so here's
okay, so for the case, like, when he says that, right, I know some people are gonna tell me, like, bro, you people who take games that seriously, touch some grass, motherfucker, yada, yada, yada. Like, you always have to deal with these people that think, like, only because you take something that is objectively not that important seriously, you, like, have to be a, like, you have to be, like, a virgin that needs to touch some grass, right? Like, they don't, it's like, suddenly, selectively, the concept of taking things important and you know, being really invested into things that are objectively not, you know, life relevant, suddenly that concept seems alien to people. And I'm like, motherfucker, if you are in Europe, right? In Europe, football or like soccer, right? That shit is insanely big. I've said this once before. People travel just out of pure love for the sport and teams. They travel across Europe for and with their teams and spend thousands of dollars. Yet, that is basically mainstream accepted, right? People don't bat an eye if you pay, like, I don't know how much that costs, like 4,000 euros for a World Cup ticket. That's nothing weird about it. Nothing fucking weird about it. But hey, if you have the same passion and love for a video game, people act like you have to be a basement dweller, right? You have to be. And it's like, I'm always like, bro, I show you a picture. You know how I look like. You want to show me a picture of you, motherfucker? I bet, you know, and then we can decide who of us is the basement dweller. Because I think someone who like actively consumes videos where people take something seriously that you might find it's cringe, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but if you do that, I think maybe you spend your time pretty much in a weird way, and I would say like, hey, if you do that, there might be, if you invest time into that instead of doing something that is fun for you, I think you have a big problem, mate. But just, you know, people sacrificed, and it sounds weird to people, right? But you have to remember back when Mainman made content, and he started in like 2007 or some shit, bro, back then, he needed to capture card this shit, right? And it has actually good quality for the time that shit come out. Like, he put his own money on that shit just to do content for a thing he loves, you know? And until, I think, 2014, he didn't even stream. I think the first stream was 2014. He didn't make a dime off of it. He just did it for the pure love for the game. Like every one of them. Everyone. Rip streamed as well, Blasted Salami, right? Who doesn't remember all the videos he made, bro? How many people did he get into the game? Do you know how many fucking millions of views his guides have that are like in crisp 4K? Because he captured that shit, I think, with 200 Mbit at 4K, which is insane. Just to give people good quality shit for a thing he loves. And why was that shit never featured in-game? Why was there never a section in-game of like, hey, we are Namco Bandai, we are too lazy to make good tutorials or teach you the game actually. Our community does this, here are the people. Suck their dicks. You know, just a small, in the main menu, right? A small, you know, section of like community or something. They never even thought about this. I think no one even thinks about that, right? Or people like who don't produce content anymore actively, like Peter Mao, right? Great guy. Great guy.
This is where things get interesting.
Sorry.
This is the twist, right? I know because I was there, right? I feel like many years ago, I realized that this alleged symbiotic relationship that exists between a content creator and the developer, it's not the same for fighting games. Other games, that makes sense.
Exactly, it doesn't exist in other games.
Like, let's say Dark Souls or anything, Death Stranding. It makes sense to have a relationship with the developer and use the game as a way to make content, and then the developer uses you as advertisement. That makes sense. But for fighting games, it doesn't work that way because they need the creator, tournament organizer, commentator, those are all the same. Even tournament players, they need those guys more than Dark Souls needs anything. You know, Death Stranding doesn't need a tournament to exist. A Death Stranding tournament doesn't need to happen. But fighting games need these things to happen to like inspire and create growth and, you know, all this stuff. You need it. So
I would say true, because even if you look, you can't deny that there's obviously a truth to that. Even if you look at Tech 2, a game that performed in sales relatively poorly, if you look at tournament grand finals of that game on YouTube, that shit has millions of views. Millions. So who knows how bad this game would have sold if not for those people. You know? And how many people got inspired by, you know, the Arslan Ash stories and stuff. I mean, hey, the Score Esport, pretty mainstream YouTube channel, made multiple videos about Tekken, you know? So that shit reaches people, right? So it's true. I can't deny that. I think you can't deny that.
Let's get back to the whole RIP concept, right? It's a lot of sacrifice. And I feel like it stung especially today for me, because I remember those times when I thought to myself, this isn't gonna work. I can't just be about Tekken, because even though it seems like we are 69ing each other and it's even, right? Like, this is great. They give me access to something, I can create content with it, and I'm advertising their game. That's great. Except, what about when they give it to someone else first? Or what about when they make a shitty fucking game that you don't like?
What about they make... I'm just gonna let that stand.
What's gonna happen then? You ever heard of Mike Ross and Dcks?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen then?
For those of you who don't know, because Tekken players, there's like 2D stuff, like Mike Ross, Dcks mainly, or like Mike Ross mainly famous for Street Fighter, and fucking up some scrub in Guilty Gear in a pretty good, like the Stream Monster clip, pretty good shit, with Axel, I believe. Basically, with Mike Ross, I think he grew to detest Street Fighter at some point. I think Street Fighter 5. But it's a way, and Dcks and Mike Ross, it's a super deep story. I don't gonna go into it. I'm not gonna open that barrel.
You ever hear of those guys? Well, anyway, so what I'm saying is, if you really are all in on Tekken, you gotta understand that you're underappreciated. That's my point. If you're all in on Tekken, or if you're all in on Street Fighter, or if you're all in on one of those fighting games, I'm telling you, you're underappreciated. And this goes out to all of them. Main Man, Spaghetti Rip, European, Japanese, all of them. Super underappreciated, and I'm specifically talking about fighting games. It's different with other games. There's no Death Stranding community. You know, it's not how other games work. This is something that needs to exist, like fucking billiards and...
I would say it's also different in regards to other esports titles. A lot of publishers care way more about the esports side of things and treat like tournaments a bit more fairly and give them also a bit publicity. So I was for the longest time a Counter-Strike player, and in Counter-Strike even like in Global Offensive in like 2011, 2012, they featured tournament news and stuff on their site. Yes, they also had the sticker stuff, you know, you don't know, if you don't play Counter-Strike you don't know, but basically you could buy stickers in-game with the name of your pro player, like an autograph you could put on your weapon. Like, you could do much more to, like, in a fun way that also generates money, but people are not butthurt about it, to push your tournament scene, right? Like, why is it that we have not an esports category in the main menu for Tekken 8, where you find links to the most recent tournament VODs? Right? Or people who restream it. I mean, it's your game. Get in touch with the people and say, hey, yo, ATL, can we maybe, you know, put that shit on there and, like, you know, rip restreams ATL. Like, why is that not there? It's just, it seems like Stone Age stuff, right? Maybe I'm crazy, but if I speak this out loud, it makes so much sense to me to, like, do this, and I just can't really understand why they don't do it. I just can't find a reason. It seems so simple to me to make a basic interface of, like, hey, that's like with, like, you know, with, like, small panels, like, oh, here are the recent tournaments and whatever, and hey, here we have Joey Fury maybe teaching you Paul or Jack, or they do a double feature with, like, Joe Crush and Joey Fury, whatever, and Anakin, you know, free Jack players making a guide or something, you know, and it's just no. It's just fucking no. It's like, where's the enthusiasm? And this is the thing, right? Where is the bit of love that you feel from the developer? Maybe it's crusty corporate Japan shit, where they're like, nah, we can't do that. That's too informal or something. I don't know. It's just, it's dog shit, man. It's dog shit. Capcom does things a little bit better. Not insanely better. People there are also very unhappy with how Capcom doesn't really appreciate the offline scene anymore, because obviously it's way cheaper to run World Warrior events online.
Bowling and shit. We need to have Tekken tournaments every year. We need to have regionals and nationals, and it needs to be organized with commentators. And, you know, this is not like it's not like a game where it comes out and it's gone. You pay a bunch of high-profile players to play it, and then it's over. That's not the smart play, and they know that. We're on season 4 already. But how you gonna do that? So some people were like, Aris is just mad that he didn't get it, and I'm over here thinking, man, that's sick. This is an excellent way for me to not play Tekken season 4. Nice. I can ride this whole, like, you know, that's fucked up of Namco. You know, how dare they underappreciate their players? You know, this is gonna work out perfectly. So that's what I'm thinking. But people are like, Aris is just pissed. You're like, come on, dude. You don't think that I could have turned the stream on and done a no-signal stream and gotten more viewers?
Probably.
Come on, man. You think I give a fuck about that?
No, he
Think
doesn't.
about it, dude. I don't care. Anyway, the thing that really stung and made me tweet that tweet was because people like Spaghetti Rip and Rip are... You know, they're butthurt, and it's fair. A lot of people are butthurt, and it's not cool to do that. You know, it's just not cool. End of story. Fair. I don't think anyone thinks it's cool. I don't even think Namcops think it's cool. I have a feeling it's pretty...
To that, basically this was the Europe division, or Europe Namco Bandai Bureau division, whatever, who did this. Harada himself, as always, bro, the guy is not in power anymore. I think if Harada had actually power, because he has the position of, like, director or whatever still of the Tekken project and of Tekken 8 still, he has that title still, he is credited as that, but it's just, he doesn't have anything to say anymore, it seems, because every decision, like so many times Harada said, yeah, I think that is dog shit as well. I mean, bro, I can only repeat myself, he famously, in a Tag 2 interview said, I would never sell integral parts to a fighting game. I would never sell you stages or characters as DLC because they are integral parts of a fighting game. That guy is an idealist. Harada is an idealist. He loves fighting games. He does. He said that publicly on cam. But Tag 2 sold so bad that he probably had to give a shit ton of concessions. And Namco was like, you know what? Let's do it a bit more corporate. Frame data, that shit is not free. All the characters, DLC. Stages, DL-fucking-C. Right? Then Tekken 8, okay, the old costumes that we literally fucking... Guys, it's the Tekken 6 asset. I play Tekken 6, I put the resolution up. The costumes they are selling you, the Lily costume, that is the Tekken 6 asset, simply run through like upscaler. I'm not even kidding, it's insane. So, and also these decisions, right? I don't think Harada appreciates this shit at all. We had the Genmaji apology. Yes, he deleted it, and you're like, why did you delete that? And then you never talked about this again. But he had the balls to put the initial tweet up. That has to be worth something, right? So the Harada bashing and even the Murray bashing, it's not those two. It's not those two. It's Big Corpo. It always is. It always is. And only if Big Corpo are also a bit idealistic, like in the case of, I think you could argue, From Software or Larian Studios under, what's he called? I forgot his name. Sven Wing, I don't know. The Baldur's Gate guy and obviously From Software. There you see like it's idealism, right? These people are based their own publisher, their own company, even though Tencent is invested into in Larian, I think. But they have the authority, right? They just decided to not sell you any DLC. People, think about this for a second. In Baldur's Gate 3, people begged them to do DLC. People begged them to do story expansions and DLC. They could have sold story expansions and DLC for that game for years to come. People wanted it. People said, we want to give you our money. They could have gotten away with that. People, they could have been celebrated for producing actually relatively lazy DLC, I bet, if they had done that, right? If it said, let's make it as lazy as we can. People would have still celebrated because people thirsted for, DLC for Baldur's Gate 3. They could have gotten away with that, even be celebrated for it. But because they are idealists, they choose not to. They simply choose not to. Larian just said, nah, this is our project, we are done, we put everything we had into that, this was our vision, we wanted to do exactly this story, these characters, and that's it. We don't need to, right? So there's like basically a sense of it's enough, right? So this is the thing, right? You need these rare idealists, right? And in the case of Larian, obviously you can debate this of like, yeah, but hey, maybe if the game didn't work out, it was a huge risk. It was early access. They had to do it because they needed to get some money even to like really finance the whole development. And if you look at the numbers in early access, they were relatively low. The game had still 18,000 reviews and shit at early access, or like a bit over 10,000. I played the game in early access, Baldur's Gate 3. And they were worried. They had to worry, like, what, fuck. Basically, we already released the game sort of soft, right, in early access. What about if it doesn't work out? What about if the game releases in final version 1, the big release, and we don't get any more customers? If the people who actually want this product already have it, we are fucked. But it worked out. It was a good game, it was a good quality. It works out. Sometimes idealism works out. And it's good, right? Everyone is happy. But Tag 2 was basically an idealist game. It updated the graphics, it had insane stages, they did marketing with like Snoop Dogg, all of that shit. They had pair play, solo mode, replay theater, revolutionary fucking website, Tekken Federation, World Tekken Federation, with making clans, seeing in-depth statistics. They even had tournaments information on that site. They had this. They had all of that, And it didn't work out, You can debate all of the reasons why. If it was the market, game complexity, whatever, doesn't matter. But this idealism and all of the DLC for free, for fucking free. So that was pure idealism. Didn't work out. And now I'm of the conviction that someone else entirely, a completely entire bracket of suits or group of suits is in power now of the Tekken project.
Clear that someone fucked up. And it's not really just this event that matters. That's the thing. I want you to really pay attention. Really open your ears here. It's not about Season 4.
Thank you.
It's really not. It's not even just about Tekken or Tekken 7. It's about how fighting games rely on tournaments and creators and commentators and also production staff. Let's not forget all those people who connect the microphone that you talk into and the people who calibrate the computers with the headphones. All those people are the people that are underappreciated by the devs. And Corona pandemic has really...
I don't think Aris directly means the devs, like the guy who, I don't know, make the move list for Fakumaram. I think he means exactly the people who are responsible for the shit right now, right? For also the public relations being like, what the fuck are you guys doing, right? Marketing teams, no community manager, right? We need people in place, or if I were Namco, you need to put people in place that at least make some effort to make the community feel appreciated. Just to make them feel a little bit appreciated, right? And a little like handle things with a little bit of a casual attitude, right? Not this stupid shit.
Proven that, you know, the pandemic shows up, there's no tournaments, and it's all you're left with is nothing. You know, yeah, Tando Media, those guys, you don't realize how essential those guys.
It's the guys who pulled through for us in COVID and organized all the, I think all the ICFCs globally, right? We had America, Europe, South America, and Asia, right?
Were, and it's like so underappreciated. It's really the bottom line. Underpaid, underappreciated, way overworked. And now that we're seeing the state of fighting games without them, it's like, wow, it's really highlighting it to me. And it reminds me of all the sacrifices I've made, and I know all of them have made. You know? People have made a lot of sacrifices for Tekken. It's crazy if you think about it. And I know only my own story, but I don't know other people's stories. And it's like to know at the end of the day, you know, they could just give it to one person over the other person. I don't know why Mike Ross and Dcks went crazy, but I do know that Street Fighter V fucking sucks.
That was before Street Fighter V turned things like around in like, what was it, like late season 3. The game got definitely better, way better. You have to give it to Capcom. They pulled the car out of the mud with Street Fighter V. At least they made effort. They made effort.
And I do know that those guys, you know, okay, when I went on Excellent Adventures, I thought they wanted to play Mortal Kombat. And I was an open-minded person. I'll play anything you fucking want. I don't care. But when I walked through that door and said, you guys want to play Mortal Kombat? They were like, Mortal Kombat? Ew.
That is, you see in chat, Moron Kombat.
Why am I bringing this up? First of all, I mean, most people would say that. But more importantly, their attitudes were so Street Fighter at the time. Street Fighter 4. That's it. So that's...
I mean, of course, when was he on Excellent Adventures, bro? 2013 or some shit? Yeah, it was basically golden age of... Was it arcade? Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition? Like, or Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition? Like the golden version where everyone is like, that is the best version, basically, I think.
Fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But you gotta understand that there will come a time where it's not even anymore. And you've given Street Fighter more than it's gonna be able to give you. It won't be able to give you anymore. Whether the game changes and it sucks, or
whether the game changes and it sucks. That is really... So again, I had a lot of comments recently. I read a lot of comments saying, hey, no problem, bro. Tekken 8 sucks. I go to Street Fighter 6. I'm like, you have no idea. So I played 700 hours of Street Fighter 6. I would say I know the game. Again, I'm not like super sick in it. But, you know, I follow the scene for a long, long time. Like, I watched Street Fighter, even though I didn't play it super actively. I watched it since 2015 CEO and watched, like, old shit as well. And people right now, the community that we are, if you mirror us to Street Fighter 6, people are fucking unhappy with the game. So, the high level, or the high level audience in that game, the statements they make about Street Fighter 6, you could mirror to Tekken 8. You could just change the name of the game they talk about, and they say, yeah, just take a guess. Just force the mix. Just take the easy plus frames. Skill expression gets removed. Character identity gets removed. Literally this, you won't believe it. I will make a video about that and highlight a very specific certain podcast. And it will blow your mind. You will think like, in what kind of Twilight Zone am I? These people are saying the exact same sentences to a T.
Or whether it's something like the main man gets the code first, it's gonna sting. So it just brought up this whole event today about season 4, reminded me of times when it stung. And this is part of the reason why I decided many years ago that I can't just be about Tekken, because it won't work. I'll end up being a fucking nut job. Okay? And come on, dude. Look at what Street Fighter V has done. I'm not gonna become a nut job. Okay? I will, but on my own terms. So I had to drop it. It's not my thing. I'm out. Because I had to separate myself from it, or else I'd be in the position of Rip. Today, Rip, Spaghetti Rip, all these other people, there are people streaming under the Tekken game category, and they're just pissed. That's it.
Well, doesn't that remind you of today, where people stream and are just pissed?
They're not even they're just pissed. Like, the camera's on them, and they're just fucking pissed. That's fucking hilarious, dude. That was me. It's hilarious only to me. It's not funny. That's not funny to them.
Hey man, you want to play some Mortal Kombat?
To me, it's pretty funny because I was there. And I know how that is, dude. They're fucking butthurt because they've put so much work and effort into creating some kind of content that all it does is shares what they love with other people. And this is the kind of...
Just want to highlight this right here.
Treatment they get, you know? And dude, especially people like, for example, Rip and Spaghetti Rip. This is one guy, sure, they have a lot in common. But this is one dude
because
from
they're
California
both brown, like
who was a commentator for multiple tournaments. This is another dude from England. He's an Englishman, right?
Yeah,
Commentator, traveled to a bunch of tournaments.
Yeah, he does.
Both of these guys are butthurt this morning, okay? They're both butthurt this morning. And that's ridiculous because these are the kinds of people that got shafted the most by Corona pandemic.
Indians,
no more
no
tournaments,
more.
no more commentary, no more jobs. You better stay at home and make content, amigo. But wait. What the fuck? Who's streaming it now? What gives? You see my point? That's all I'm saying. It stung and it also hit at home. You know, I remember those days where you feel underappreciated and there's resentment, you know? For example, dude,
May a man wins again.
I'll tell you this. That Soul Calibur event I went to before Soul Calibur 6 came out, I went to that event because I wanted Soul Calibur to be good. I did it for free. Dude, the guy who at the time...
Oh yeah, here's someone, right? Blasted Salami got shafted again, yeah. That is one of the... That makes me mad a little bit, honestly. It makes me fucking mad. The videos he did for Tekken 7, they are literally studio quality. If Namco would try to do what he did, they would do a worse job at it. I mean, bro, who did he have for script writing or for parts of the script writing? Dinosaur? It's so good. It was so good.
I worked at Namco. He's standing there next to me and he's like, man, you could be getting paid $5,000 at least or some shit. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I just like the game, dude. You know, don't talk to me. You know, I just like the game. I want it to be good. I want it to be popular. Think about that kind of shit. I'm just saying, man, it's fucked up. People get really butthurt and they're underappreciated. That's all. Because you love what you're doing. The idea of these guys getting butthurt because they feel like they were like not treated fairly. It stung personally. So that's all. I wanted to clean that up. People, it's so hard to explain your opinion. I don't even know if I did a good job, to be honest. I'm a little tuckered out. I had a long day, but I don't know if I made my point clear. But, you know, they're underappreciated. It's a lot. It's totally different for fighting games. That's for sure. It's totally different. You know? And it's such a, you don't know the kind of sacrifices. If I've made the sacrifices, so have they. You don't think that, for example, Rip is college educated, dude. And he has experience in many computer related left click things.
Things.
He could totally have any job. He chose being a Tekken commentator because he's following his dream. You know? Think about that. He could do anything. Lord knows what he could do, right? Same with No Pants. No Pants is college educated, you know? And he had a real job, but he wants to be involved in something that's like cool, bigger than the norm. And I respect that. But, you know, it's like, think about the sacrifice. That's all. You know, but the bottom line is success and sacrifice are like, they suck each other's dicks. They French kiss each other. These two concepts. Success and sacrifice, they are butt fucking non-stop. Those things are directly related, you know? So, you know, it's normal. That's the cosmos. No big deal. But at the end of the day, you know, this season 4 event is meaningless. It's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. It just brought up the idea to me that you can't be all about Tekken or Street Fighter 4 or any of these things. All you can do is look to the past, right? And learn from other people's mistakes. I realized early on that I need to detach myself from Tekken, or else I'm going to end up like fucking Dcks and Mike Ross, however that may be.
I mean, I think that you can if you love the game enough, right? I mean, I don't know, I've never, I mean, obviously, if you do this for like a living or something, your perspective is obviously a little bit different, and there are also soft factors that then apply. I mean, I would say do what's fun, right? But obviously, if you committed and you don't have an alternative, that's like obviously weird. Like, let's say the game sucks and like mega sucks and like falls in a hole again where like maybe no one cares about it, like no one literally cares about it. Like, I don't know, man. Obviously, yeah, people, you know, but Rip. So for people worrying about Rip has an education. Like, Rip is like an IT guy. So, and if you're an IT guy, you can basically do everything, right? If you know how to like code and shit, like I think he is gonna be fine, and he has a full-time job right now. I think he does. He works from home. So, but obviously that's not the point, right? The point is I don't give a fuck. I think that someone who put that much effort into your game and, you know, was always there, and we don't know the half of it. Like, these people don't cry about, like, you know, the dog shit events they travel to. They still provide a good show, right? Underpaid, all of the stuff, right? They don't cry about it, you know, because they enjoy and love this shit so much. And to just get shafted like this, and also the way, right? He doesn't know anything. It's like, brother, if you have someone who basically worked for you, your game, your IP, and loves what you do, right? Like this relationship, and does that for like, I mean, Rip competes, brother. He competed already in a Tag 1 tournament. And I don't know how long he does, commentary, but like, let's say, I don't fucking know, like 15 years. Like, brother, if someone who does that, right, and what he gets is nothing, and like from some person behind the scenes, because that person cared probably, he got notified like, hey yo bro, we got the list and you're not on it. Like, he doesn't even get like proper like notification or some reasoning or anything, or like, I don't fucking know, bro, a pair of flowers, like nothing really. You can't be fucking real, bro. Like, Bro, I spit on them.
don't even know what the real true Hollywood story is there, right? But I do know that I don't want to be there. That's not where I want to be. I want to be somewhere.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if they do a statement again. Do you know what happened when with the Chinese player? Even though per rules, the rules were official, he wasn't allowed to partake in the tournament. He should have known that. That is the objective truth of it. But people in that case were really, really loud about it and said, fuck you for this, right? And even though they were all in their rules to disqualify this player, do you know what they did? They made this public statement and said, yeah, you know what? Because you're all that angry, we will invite this player, even though he is not allowed to do so, to that year's Tekken World Tour Finals. They just broke their rules, their own rules, to satisfy the crowd. So I wonder what is now going to happen. I wonder, in this case, I mean, back then people also review bombed. Maybe people should keep this up, because back then, if they reacted like this with the obviously the Chinese player, what was it, XQC? Like, he wasn't called XQC, right? Like something was a 3-letter name, I think. I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. Everyone now says, "Hey, this is shit. No rip, no buy. What the fuck are you doing, you cunts?" So hey, everyone is loud. Let's see if they maybe do it again. You know, maybe this time we also get a statement of like, "Hey, you know what? Because you want rip, you will get rip. People want rip. Give me rip and give me Spag as well." You know? Jesus fucking Christ.
Where I'm happy and chilling and not giving a fuck about stuff, you know, and enjoying fun. You know what I mean? So,
Thank you.
I guess my advice to you, if you're a content creator, is don't put all your eggs in one basket unless you're willing to accept that the main man got it first, or Aris got it first. Hey, Aris got it first, bitch. Suck my dick.
You.
That's the way it's gonna be. If you want to put all your eggs in one basket, Aris is gonna get it first. That's all I'm telling you. That's it. That's my advice. I'm gonna get it first. And I'm the main man, or I'm someone else. Anyone else. It's gonna be someone else. It's true. Rip says, fuck this, I'm gonna be a Gray Skies main. Whatever. I didn't want to speak for you. I don't like speaking for other people, so I tried to make it clear that I don't know necessarily anything, but I'm using logic because I'm also a person and everyone is a person. So, success and sacrifice. Guaranteed. You think Spaghetti Rip? I don't even know Spaghetti. I know Spaghetti Rip's brother more than I know him because he likes cars. And we talked about cars. He drives a Mini Cooper S. I don't even know Spaghetti Rip. Barely know him, right? But I know he's sacrificed for Tekken. And the fact that he woke up this morning butthurt because the main man got it first totally reminded me of myself. All these times, you know? Whatever, dude. You can't let this stuff bother you, man. If you do, I mean, you won't win. You won't win. Oh yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe.
Alright. Let me know your thoughts, what you think about it. I thought it was appropriate to like revisit this video. It was 5 years ago. And hey, maybe you enjoyed it, maybe you don't. Everyone who's still listening, thanks. And yeah, I guess see you next time.